Hey, my name is Damianos. This is Left the Abyss. So, these are our options. Oh boy. So, this week we had the first presidential debate. If you watched it, I'm sorry. I hope you're okay. Watching this debate will confirm to you that we are living in a simulation. It really confirms exactly how bad it is. A blatant display that the system is totally broken. Let's watch a few clips and suffer together. Before we get to the clips, let's summarize the debate. How'd it go? Pretty much a disaster all around. Trump continuously trampled over everything both Biden and the moderator said. He would not allow anyone but him to speak. The moderator fought back, but Biden just let himself get bulldozed. But Trump was being so belligerent, he was just not likable to anyone but his hardcore base. Him rambling over Biden was the debate. Based on their performance, who won this debate? I don't think anybody won. They both did awful in their own unique ways. But it's pretty obvious the biggest loser is us. The person who said the craziest shit was obviously Trump. Biden just dug in his heels against the left. So we'll focus on what Trump said, because there's some important things here. Let's watch Trump explain how he deals with the coronavirus.
What about this question of reopenings and the fact...
Well, he wants to shut down this country, and I want to keep it open. And we did a great thing by shutting it down. Wait a minute, Joe. Let me shut you down for a second, Joe, just for 1 second. He wants to shut down the country. We just went through it. We had to because we didn't know anything about the disease. Now we found that elderly people with heart problems and diabetes and different problems are very, very vulnerable. We learned a lot. Young children aren't. Even younger people aren't. We've learned a lot. But he wants to shut it down. More people will be hurt by continuing. If you look at Pennsylvania, if you look at certain states that have been shut down, they have Democrat governors all. One of the reasons they're shut down is because they want to keep it shut down until after the election on November 3rd.
I want to move on to another
because
subject.
it's a political
But
those states are not doing well that are shut down right now.
Respond to that. President Trump, you have begun...
Donald Trump wants to simultaneously take credit for shutting down the country and for reopening it. He said there he had to shut it down because no one knew anything about it, but he goes on to say that now that we know that, according to him, only the elderly and immunocompromised are affected and never children or young people. So therefore, it's totally okay to sacrifice grandma and open up the economy. He points to Biden and insinuates that he's crazy because he wants to shut down the country during a pandemic. His numbers are not worthy of bragging, but it doesn't matter to a base that doesn't read numbers. Hit me again.
President Trump, you're holding large rallies with crowds packed together, thousands of people. Outside, yes, sir, agreed. Vice President Biden, you are holding much smaller events with...
Because nobody will show up.
People with...
What's true. Nobody shows up to his rallies.
All right. In any case, why you holding the big rallies? Why you not? You go first, sir.
Because people want to hear what I have to say. I mean,
but are you
I've done a great job as a president, and I'll have 25, 35,000 people show up at airports. We use airports.
Are you not worried about the disease issues, sir? We have a lot of people. Well, so far, we have had no problem whatsoever. It's outside. That's a big difference, according to the experts. And we do them outside. We have tremendous crowds, as you see. I mean, and literally on 24 hours notice. And Joe does the circles and has 3 people someplace.
Okay. By the way, did you see one of the last big rallies he had? And a reporter came up to him to ask him a question. He said, no, stand back. Put on your mask. Put on a mask. Have you been tested? I'm way far away from those other people. That's what he said. I can't. I'm going to be okay. He's not worried about you. He's not worried about the people out there breathing in one another.
We've had no negative effect.
No negative effect.
We've had no negative effect. And we've had 35, 40,000 people at these rallies.
Trump, you can't claim that you're handling the pandemic well and also brag about how many people outside showed up at your outside rallies. Outside. 40,000 people went to your rallies? That's bad, Trump. It's not a good thing. I know you can't help but jerk yourself off, but holy shit, Trump. You gotta stop doing it on national television. That does not make you look like you handled the pandemic well. And nothing happened, huh? Herman Cain died. I'm not too shook about that, but I'm really, really fucking shook that Biden was too fucking sleepy to remember that. His argument about him not wanting people in the crowd to come close to him is mediocre and pathetic when you could literally say, your rallies killed a prominent politician. Biden. Wake up, buddy. He just told you nothing happened as a result of his rallies. You could have destroyed him on that point if only you didn't sleep through that part. Biden, where you at? Again.
So we built the greatest economy in history. We closed it down because of the China plague. When the plague came in, we closed it down, which was very hard psychologically to do. He didn't think we should close it down, and he was wrong. And again, 2 million people would be dead now instead of still 204,000 people is too much. One person is too much. Should have never happened from China. But what happened is we closed it down, and now we're reopening, and we're doing record business. We had 10.4 million people in a 4-month period that we've put back into the workforce. That's a record the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. And he wants to close down he will shut it down again. He will destroy this country. You got to open these states up. It's not fair. You're talking about almost it's like being in prison. And you look at what's going on with divorce. Look at what's going on with alcoholism and drugs. It's a very, very sad thing. And he'll close down the whole country. This guy will close down the whole country and destroy our country. Our country is coming back incredibly well, setting records as it does it. We don't need somebody to come in and say, let's shut it down.
Trump, I'm swimming in contradictions here. You can't say, I closed the country, he didn't want to, but we had to. And also say, I reopened it, big surprise, the jobs are coming back and he wants to shut it all down and destroy the country. Trump, you've done both things while claiming Biden supported both things. I know this is your way of obfuscating so that people who don't know things can just latch onto whatever is happening now as the right choice. But you're losing people because many people can't deny any longer that whatever is going on right now is not the right choice. Another.
Excuse me, he made a statement.
So did you.
People want their schools open. They don't want to be shut down. They don't want their state shut down. They want their restaurants. I look at New York. It's so sad what's happening in New York. It's almost like a ghost town. And I'm not sure it can ever recover what they've done in New York. People want their places open. They want to get back to their lives. They'll be careful, but they want their schools open. I'm the one that brought back football. By the way, I brought back Big Ten football. It was me, and I'm very happy to do it. And
all right,
people of Ohio are very proud of me. And you know how I found out? When he took the phony
we're going to get to your...
No, Trump. You want to prop up the economy on the corpses of people who make that economy look almost as presentable as a weekend at Bernie's. People want to be able to survive, yes, but they could do that without jobs if you would let them. Pay them. Your economy would look worse from a stock market perspective, but you'd save lives. But obviously the lives are not your priority to speed up the death rate in favor of a perilous but somewhat operating economy to brag about. Yes, open schools and restaurants. That may cause even higher transmission rates, but it will make the country almost look like it's working. Definitely gotta be proud about bringing back that football too. Great for the economy, gets chuds coming. Brings people together for giant house parties on Sunday so they can die later. Trump's doing everything right to build that economy up, but I think he forgot that he's gonna have to be elected by the survivors of all the dead bodies used to prop it up. More. I can handle it.
Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
are you
I'm
prepared to specifically
do it?
Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it. Do you want to call them? What do you want to call them? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
white
like me to condemn? White supremacists and right
Proud Boys. Stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing.
FBI director
This is a left-wing problem.
White supremacist. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got to be
not
kidding.
militia. That's what his FBI director
Gentlemen,
said.
Well, then you know what?
No, we're done, sir. We're moving on to the next. We're
When
moving.
a bat hits you over the head, that's not an idea.
Everybody in
Antifa
your
is
administration tells you the truth has a bad idea.
Can I tell you what?
You have no ideas.
Antifa is a dangerous,
All right,
radical
gentlemen,
group.
we're now moving on to the Trump and
you ought to be
Biden
careful with
records.
them. They'll overthrow you.
When a president, I'm going to ask a question.
I thought I could take it, but it's a heavy hitter right there. That's the big one. Trump. Disavow white supremacists. Yeah, just stand back, stand by, whatever. Anyway, somebody's gotta do something about the left and Antifa. Wonder who? Stand by. Trump, your dog whistles are definitely loud. It's hurting my head how fucking loud that was. Don't bother actually condemning any of those actors. They are your base, after all. Tell them to do something about the left on TV. Effective, but a little too on the nose to get away with it. Everyone noticed that. That really was not smooth. Alright, I need a breather.
Will you urge your supporters to stay calm during this extended period, not to engage in any civil unrest? And will you pledge tonight that you will not declare victory until the election has been independently certified? President Trump, you go first.
I'm urging my supporters to go into the polls and watch very carefully, because that's what has to happen. I am urging them to do it. As you know, today there was a big problem. In Philadelphia, they went in to watch. They're called poll watchers, a very safe, very nice thing. They were thrown out. They weren't allowed to watch. You know why? Because bad things happen in Philadelphia, bad things. And I am urging my people. I hope it's going to be a fair election. If it's a fair election, I am 100% on board. But if I see tens of thousands of ballots being manipulated, I can't go along with that. And I'll tell you what,
does that
from
mean,
a common sense,
does that mean you're
I'll tell
going to
you
tell
what
your
it means.
people to take to the
It means you have a fraudulent election. You're sending out 80 million ballots. They're not equipped to. These people aren't equipped to handle it. Number one. Number two, they cheat. They cheat. Hey, they found ballots in a waste paper basket 3 days ago, and they all had the name military ballots. They were military. They all had the name Trump on them.
Vice President
You think
Biden,
that's good?
Fucking shit. You want people to watch the polls for fraud. Trump, once again, you should probably not tell your supporters to commit felonies. First, it's do voter fraud by voting by mail as well as in person. Then it's go to the polling stations and watch. Trump, that's called election interference and voter intimidation. These are crimes, Mr. Law and Order. They got kicked out in Pennsylvania because they were committing a felony. They're lucky they didn't get charged. You think your supporters aren't going to bring ARs and flaunt them around polling stations to dissuade people of color, gay, or trans people from voting? You know it. Beyond that, he's doubling down on how unfair it's going to be. He's not going to accept defeat, and it's not going to go peacefully. He forgot to pledge to tell his supporters to remain calm, to wait, to declare victory. This is intentional, because it seems he really is relying on breaking the election system to claim victory. He isn't going to go easily. Prepare for the chaos of that time period between election and result. It's going to be really, really fucked up. For Trump, that's very much on purpose. Is that all?
And I'll be a president not just for the Democrats. I'll be a president for Democrats and Republicans.
Yes, Biden, we know. You're a corporate conservative. You really don't have to rub it in like that. Fuck you too, bitch. Say more things without trailing off and getting interrupted by Trump, and I'll have more to say about you too next time. This has been Left the Abyss. There's 2 more of these coming. Shit. I miss hell. It's so much nicer down there. Please. Please. Like, comment, and share. Reward me for my punishment, and as always, thank you for watching Left the Abyss, mortals. Subscribe. Abort. Simulation. By the way, Trump has corona.